All right, let's start because I have to cover more slides today because there are a lot of slides to cover and it's some of the theoretical part as usual. Let's look at so far, I think you all covered, based on the TQM house operation from the foundation to, and roof, and then all the pillars covers except last pillar called leadership commitment and communication. Leadership commitment also covered by Vimal last time. I'm going to cover communication, the area. So let's go through the presentation. All right. Today topics is basically the topic main one is communication in total quality management. The key to quality success, how you are going to success your TQM journey with the quality with using proper communication. So you should understand how you communicate, where to communicate, and the people you are connecting with, and how you are going to adding value through the communication. Then you will, because based on everybody's understand communication is less just talking and with another party or the group of people. No, there are very important areas you have to look at, right? So that communication is very important. Communication will be the main key area, main major subject to follow every area, not only quality, even your personal life and the other business. Everywhere you go, communication is a key. Communication falls, there will be a big issue, even organization, in the personal life or wherever. So communication, I think you will understand this when you go through the presentation, the slides. So how you align with theory first, then how you're going to practically apply that, because your day-to-day works, you do this communication, but you should understand specifically where you have to apply, and you should understand what are the key areas to success your TQM journey, especially. If you don't know where the areas to focus, then your TQM journey will be, collapse or unsuccessful. So, right. So let me move on. Okay, these are the key takeaways today session. So I think I think Darshan shared the handout. Please write down on your handout these key takeaways. So I'll give you 2 minutes. So please write down. So the first one is the fundamentals of communication and the requirements of change management areas to drive the TQM successfully. I'm going to cover some of the change management area. Even Vimal covered that change management. I know Darshan, somebody is covered. And then the TQM management system best practices to drive and how it's sustaining with adding value to the organization. How we're going to TQM management system. Also, I'm going to cover some of the slides, then you can understand. So how the system works to success the TQM. Another one, the last one, the TQM key element is KPI, which should focus on monitoring mechanism to ensure the organization or the department is in the right direction. So you are going to realize today then how you are going to monitor KPI, how you are going to plan the KPI, and then to ensure the organization is in the right direction. So then you can understand that. So basically, I'm going to cover communication and the systems of TQM, and finally change management and the QKPI tree. All right, let's look at. Let's recall your memory that you have gone through the slides before about TQM, right? So because first you understand and you recall your memory before you go to the communication, then you will connecting with your total quality manager. First you understand is a total quality manager. Everybody agree is a philosophy. I think it's not a system or practice. It's a philosophy that you are going to inculcate in your organization and apply your establish. Is a culture. It's a philosophy. So you are going to set up in your organization. Now you are going to, understand the philosophy, and where the total in total employers or employees going to involve. So this is not an individual, the person responsibilities. Everybody has to involve to success the quality journey. With that, what I'm going to emphasize here, communication is key. So how you communicate to the people while you are improving the TQM or going to establish the TQM. So without communication, you cannot improve the TQM, right? And how you're going to say customer-centric focus, that how you're going to connect with us. Basically, we are going to satisfy customer, internal, external, or either and your the business, bringing the more business to your the organization. There should be a proper communication. So then I'm emphasizing here total quality management. You should understand or recall your memory, then move to next slides. All right. Okay. Then okay, I'm going to start the main topic today. Why communication is vital in TQM? So you should understand what is the reason behind communication is very important TQM. So where you can see that this is a communication is a binding mortar. It's kind of a plaster to bonding in the TQM essential areas to elements to system the improve, right? Without this communication you cannot improve in your TQM journey. So and also that you will understanding your share your understanding with somebody like in the team or and stakeholders. So this to be another the point is communication. So and other one is you are going to coordinate properly with the communication, right? So without proper communication, you cannot coordinate well. So you should understand how you're going to coordinate through communication. And other than multi-directional flow, that how you are going to top to down and down to top, and how you're going to communicate bottom to up, and so and other and cross-functional team, how you're going to communicate. So you should understand. So all those area and top to down, how you're going to communicate, bottom to top, how you're going to communicate, and cross-functional, how you're going to coordinate, like it's a horizontal, how you're going to communicate with others. So these are the why you required the communication is vital in the TQM. So, and other one is stakeholder integration. Like, you have to connect with, internal teams and the external parties like suppliers and the customers to success your the business through TQM. So without communication, you cannot do that. You should understand. So when I go into the next slides, you will understand a specific point what I explained. Then you can apply your TQM journey in your organization well. All right. So the communication requirements according to ISO 9000, because ISO 9000 clearly stated how should you communicate, right? So communication, there are main requirement in based on ISO. So it says they will explain what to communicate and when to communicate and how to communicate. Specifically, when look at the what to communicate, so that you have to look at quality policy objective, like so what is your quality objective and what is the policies. Then you have to clearly written and make a objective and policies based on the ISO. They will clearly stated in the ISO document what how you are going to write the quality policies and objective, and also process requirement and specification process, how you are going to sustain maintain the process. There is a standard to maintain, and performance metrics, how you're going to analyze and all that. All everything is in the ISO document. So and how you are going to make a corrective action and preventive action. So this is a communicate very clearly in the ISO document, and also and how you're going when to communicate. So and when you go to planning and implementation, that that has to be communicated well. That is the ISO document clearly explain the step by step how to communicate. Then there's a clauses you have to follow with that. So I think some of the companies following that ISO method, like I heard that somebody is explaining ISO systems and best practices. You are doing that. I think who is that? Tilina, right? Tilina, you have a ISO system there, right?
Sorry, Mr. Rohan, I didn't get you.
My question is, I think you are maintaining, practicing the ISO method, right?
Yes, yes.
So I think you have the clear requirements to maintain communication based on ISO standard, right? Am I correct?
Yes, sir. As per the guidance, we have to
Yep.
maintain.
Absolutely. That's what I'm explaining to everybody because now what to communicate, when to communicate, and how to communicate. Clearly stated in ISO manual, then you have to follow it up. Then nutshell, I'm just high level. I'm explaining here. You have to understand these areas and how do you conduct the audit, and after audit, how we're going to reviews and communicate to the factories. So everything is there, and evaluation need to be done, and non-conformity is when you identify that now what are the how you're going to explain to them once you identify that. So everything is clear, and how to communicate through control documentations, and is a formally you have to inform like informal channels like how we're going to do that based on the ISO or manual. So I think clear, right? So I think that's what now Darshan and myself, Vimal, emphasizing. If you are going to take ISO, the system into your company, then there will be a good line, good support you to establish TQM as well, because they have clearly stated everything need to be done, document, clearly communicated, there's a document. All right. So then how you know effective communication practices in TQM implementation? How we're going to, based on the TQM, how we're going to effectively communicate. So, and you have to, before get the effective communication, you have to develop your team. Training need to be done, right? Without training, you can't success anything in your life even, right? So likewise, therefore, you must plan the training and development session to uplift the skill levels of communication. And properly you can do that then. Otherwise, there will be many challenges and conflict in your TQM journey for sure. So here stated, you can see specific points like in the handout also you can read it very clearly, and because it's specifically mentioned how we are going to develop your team. Because basically most of the companies not investing for training. Think about that. If you are going to establish TQM journey, you have to train your team to develop communication as well. So because especially you have to cover that, you have to train the people how we're going to actively listening, and then how we're going to data visualize, and presentation skill even you have to develop, and also technical writing for procedures. How we're going to write the technically in procedures step by step, and clauses how we're going to write down in the document. Likewise, you have to train your team. Otherwise, they don't know what to do. How to communicate in the documentation side. And also the proper communication has to develop your team. How to resolve the conflict in the complete that how we're going to systematically person has to be patient and digging down the problem, surface the problem, and understand the exact root cause, and detect the point of occurrence, like where it's the started, and where is that exact point why this happened, where it's happened. Like there is a proper way to, you have to develop your team. Otherwise they don't know how to communicate when the conflict happen. And cross-cultural communication skills also they need to be developed, like the when you are working with the other stakeholder, like other department, so that there will be a way to, there are method to communicate, because communication is going raw way, there will be another conflict, then you have to be more careful. And also that some of the best practice I can emphasize here, like you can do the daily stand-up meeting with the team to communicate properly. And visual management boards, you were like that most of the boards, there are a lot of companies, they have a lot of display boards, and it's a nice to have. I think Kano model explained by Vimal, and the basics fundamental, without following that, there are a lot of nice to have boards are there. Then what happened? So most of the people not looking at the board. It's like when the customer come, then you are going to show them it is the board and visual boards, but I know that well-established company, they are bread and butter is the visual the management. They every day they are taking the meeting in front of the visual boards. and guidance are very clear stated in the visual board. Everybody follow that. So you have to, think about these visual management boards in work areas to, proper communicate. And digital dashboard you can, because now the current trend is, a lot of digital boards in every companies have. And because you can display the real metrics in there, so everybody can see the real time data. And also the regular quality newsletters and updates. I think most of the companies monthly, they are publishing some of the document, everybody to understand, distributing on some books to even the team member level. They can understand business trends based how business going on, who are the people coming in newly, and who are the customers coming in. Like all the information in the newsletters are there. And next to the quality briefing and town halls, like that at current trend, I haven't seen that is a USA best practice. Like now is maintaining other companies also, and the CEO and every director board sitting in front of big audience and discussing with explain discussing something, so many specific topic to understand other employees. Then they will realize business trends and challenges, how we're going to next future, the future, the improvement, future in what do you call investments, a lot of things they discuss in front of a senior level, the executives and about team by the top management level. Like that's a multi-channel approach. I can get some example. And also feedback mechanism has to be effectively maintained, and the suggestion system for improvement idea, like a lot of the companies, they keeping like suggestion idea, open suggestion, and hidden suggestion, like boxes are there, and anonymously they can share their ideas and all. And say for example, kind kaizen ideas or and point kaizen ideas. I know that there are a lot of ways to get the feedback. And open door policies, in the sense, like it's all, history very difficult to come into the boss's room or leader's room. Now I think a lot of companies maintain open door policy, like everybody can come in, tap the door, ethically go and explain some of the concern with the leaders. That has to be the is a communication, because the people have a problem or concern, there's nobody to talk to, senior person, and there will be a problem. Or likewise, you have think about that. There are mechanism to effectively communicate practicing TQM implementation. All right, so let's look at, there are 12 specific communication the method, like, and areas you look at. Number one is downward communication. So what do you mean communication? Let's look at that. Specific point of communication where you should realize and apply in your department or organization, right? Basically, without a vision, company will not success, of course, right? So you should have a proper vision, and the policy has to be communicated to everyone as a leaders. You have to, top management is the top management. You have to communicate exactly quality vision and the policies and the strategic objectives clearly, to your all organization level. Every person should know what is the company vision and policy, because I know ISO audits come, then they will ask some question to the team member, even what is your vision, what is your support or engagement with policy. They will ask some question to verify and rectify they really exactly align with the vision or the and or the objective. So then you should have a vision statement or policy objective like that. And also that downward communication, you should have a role clarification, like you have to really understand specific roles, like you have to give a JDs, job description to everybody, what they need to be done, when to communicate with the say for example, if you have if you need some information from that your people, you have to communicate them exactly, I need this information on the next week Monday, or next week Tuesday on this time, kind of a we have to clarify, and their roles exactly, how to communicate in their respective areas. Other one is how they goal alignment. They should from daily works to large quality objectives, how they align with that. So you have to communicate, and that call, when you do that, we call downward communication. All right. And actually, there are some real world example. I mentioned here that handouts that you have. The total leadership, they progress, they clearly explain their employees from top to bottom to top, they are where their goals, and if they progress everything they share with their team. And they have daily briefing best practice in front of visual boards and or either class, the meeting room. They clearly brief in their information their employees, and also digital boards are everywhere. And and also regular quality forum also, I think you might conduct the quality forum, right? So can you tell somebody maintain a quality forum? I can give some information, you to maintain the quality forum. Anybody, can you tell me that in your organization have you conduct a quality forum there?
Yes, Ron,
Anybody?
we have quality forum.
Okay, Helita. It's very specific, right? There you have agenda and
Yes,
KPIs to talk and everything is there, right? And finally you take the
yes,
action points as well. Very good. So
yes.
that's the way you have to work. Like, quality forum in the sense you understand, you have to explain everything to your team, what has happened the last week, last couple of weeks, and you can discuss in the future month plan as well. So in the quality forum, it will be a good interactive session. So then, as a seniors, you can engage, and even TQM project also can be reviewed in the quality forum as well. All right. Let's go to the upward comment. Let's look at the upward comment. What it is? What it is? What do you mean? What it does mean? Communicate upward communication. Like from the below members, like your colleagues or the bottom level team, right? So how they communicate the senior level. Hello, something wrong in my slide. Hi guys, can you see?
Yes, sir, we can see.
Something gone wrong because it's a network problem. Okay, so let's look at the upward communication mean from bottom to up. How your below
So
team
now we are not
command.
able to see.
All right.
We are another slide. Total quality management.
Tamila, you can share, right? You can see.
We can see the total quality management framework, sir.
Now can you see?
Now it's fine.
Upward communication slide, can you see?
Yes, now, okay.
All right. So I think you clear, right? Because upward communication in the sense bottom team, how do they communicate with the senior level and the upward, so because they are giving feedback, right? You have to listen to them, right? And sometimes they come and report the problems about a problem, and some suggesting the improvement if they see, because they are employees, they are the people who work in the actual the operation or the service. They know what what need to be update to a high level. So there should be a way, like that we call upward communication. And if they daily identify some problem in the production flow, then there should be a way to come and communicate, right? And how they engage and demonstrate in like a leadership values employees perspective, like leaders has to be demonstrate how with the downward team to engage with them to success the businesses and the TQM journey. So like that's what I can explain upward communication, right? Like if I can say, like some example, quality circle. Yeah, I think you are going through quality circle. So the Motorola company, actually they improved 50% reduction in manufacturing defects only with this, the communication channel they improved. Like that's what now I collected from this information Google. So they stated, like 50% the reduction, because there's a success story in Motorola. They improved because of the communication is well set in their organization. All right. And horizontal communication, like how you communicate with your connecting with cross-functional teams to success the TQM and resolving the quality issues together with respecting their views and the concern if they have. Like you have to listen to them, and you have to tell them, like what is the requirement need to fulfill by them. So there should be is we call horizontal communication. All right. And then external communication, how you connect with customer and gathering the feedback, and how do you communicating quality commitments, like if you communicate or you are sending the shipment on time on this date, you are committed to customer kind of a thing. And and how you managing the expectation, then you have to communicate properly, like it's a more formal like email or the telephone conversation or data analysis or whatever. There is a way to communicate. We call external communication. And also you should have a mechanism to supplier connectivity, and like you have to share your quality requirement. If you have a problem in their the product when they received in your premises, if you identify through your inspection, you have to communicate to supplier properly, data, their performance feedback. They have to understand their level, and then what other things need to be improved in their area. You have to communicate. So this kind of a step need to be should be have in your TQM journey. That's why I'm trying to explain your external communication method you should have. And whoever ensuring compliance with the standard and reporting requirements in your organization, like everything has to be established in the TQM journey. And also stakeholders, like as I explained, how you cooperate with the responsibility other department, like your it can be merchandising, it can be a fabric supply department, sourcing department, like how we're going to communicate well. And I explained like ISO 9000 clearly stated how we're going to communicate. All right. And the fifth one is formal communication channel, like I think you have scheduled meetings and report and documents properly you written down, like SOPs, flow chart, and everything has to be standardized. And say for example work instruction document and standard worksheet, leaders TWs, everything has to be documented proper way, like every person, if there are 4 leaders, that 4 leaders must be maintained the same format for leaders TW likewise. And other one is official announcement, like formally communicate if there's a initiatives or new messages, or if the company change their policies, or if you are recognized like achievement, like if you win some what do you call awards, the quality award kind of a thing, then you have to formally communicate to everyone, right? There should be a mechanism, right? Okay. um, then 6 point is informal communication, like while it says well walk the talk, walk the talk, like when you are walking through the manufacturing process, so in the service area, then you can talk with your people, get the feedback, what are the how you we can ask are you satisfied, what are the challenges you have, do you have any problem to resolve, what kind of support I can give you. So that kind of a best practice you should have in the TQM journey, like we call it informal communication. It's also very powerful, not only the formal way. So then while you're working, then with the purpose, like we can say gemba walk, when you walk, then you can talk with your people and understand their challenges and understand the process and the product or whatever. I'm sorry, in the when you are working in the production flow. Because when you are in the production flow with your employees, you can even build their relationship as well. When you go and talk to them, they will feel okay, my leader, my boss came and talk with me, then they are giving some some of the very important the important point you to think about to improve further. That's called informal communication. And visual visual communication. So this is actually very important, very important. Why? Because this is the key tool you to establish in your company, where everybody going to follow. As I explained before, don't just do it, and don't do it shake off things, like just to satisfy or showing to others. It's a nice board have, and because that board has to be, how to say, is actively follow. I think some of the companies I know personally, they use every day, because every day or weekly they monitor that. They are then the visual board mention who is updated at what time. Even they have mentioned follow it up. So I think some of the company. How about Haley, the visual communication in your company? Can you share your experience there? I know that you all have a nice visual board and they all following as a discipline.
Here very bad. In Pakistan, we have very bad.
Is it? So this is a powerful tool of SAL. So because visual talk 1,000 words, have you heard about? Because even you talk, people will get few percentage into your brain. If you show something like every time, always anybody can see, right? While they are walking, and they go and see if they have a concern, like even what the trends, and in their department, or in the organization and in the section, you can see where the my department heading to. Then this will be a very powerful tool, and specifically you should have in the TQM journey quality dashboard, right? So quality dashboard in the sense every area, like from start to end, you should have a key areas, I mean KPIs to monitor, right? Then if there is a concern, then you can have a improvement project as well, because it has to be real time data, not just some of the I have seen some of the companies, they not update since last week, right? So when look at the updated date, like 2-3 weeks back. So very sham to say, like company invested big money, and end of the day nobody use. Why? Because they don't believe that. That's the thing. Now as a leader, you have to create a culture. They have to believe the data, and you have to be example and tell them, because come and best practice, you have to start in front of the board, you have to talk with the team, then everybody will follow it up. Likewise, you should have a real-time update and the performance indicators to look at that. And also I think process control charts being covered by Darshana, and it's kind of another visual the representation of process stability, so that you can see that how is based on that capabilities of process. So you should have that kind of a communication method. And visual management board, like visual management board in the sense, not only quality dashboard, visual management is a physical or digital boards with, like is display defects, improvement targets, and the team response. Everything has to be displayed in the visual management board. Like I think if anybody can give me some example best practice sharing here, I prefer to hear from Helita's voice. I was trying to, Helita, are you there?
Yes, Rohan, I'm here.
Can you just give me some example? What are the best practice you do have? I mean, daily and visual, the communication method there?
So basically, Rohan, we do have a shop floor management system, module-based shop floor management system. So basically, for the output and the quality related data and the carton tracking and various
Super.
aspects will be covered from this daily management system.
Is
Uh,
a okay, go ahead.
yes, we do have a 360 room. So all the visual dashboards are incorporated into 360 room, and flow wise, module wise, we do have visual dashboards as well. So
All right.
basically, module performance in terms of all the performance, productivity, and incentives, quality related data, and the bottlenecks, all the visualized data is available in the dashboards.
Okay. So like, yeah, I know, because that's the requirement, because it's a very established companies. I think that kind of best practices are there. I think most of the companies have. I think whoever don't have that kind of a culture, the visual board culture, please discuss with your high level management, and try to apply, try to establish, at least based on your TQM journey. So after you learn this, we believe you are going to establish TQM journey. You can start kind of visual boards. Now my very very specific, how to say, strong advice is to you all, don't just create a visual board. Visual board, wherever have, that has to be used. If not, please throw it away. So because I have seen some of the companies, they have nice board, never updated. As happened then, because if you have that kind of a best practice, uh, uh, visual management board report, up to, because it's a speed mechanism. Everybody to understand the shop floor or services. If you have a monitoring display board in your data, then very speedy way to look at what went wrong, what has happened. You can there's a visuals. Like rather you go and ask, you can just go and see in front of the board. You can see that. So it's a we call visual communication. Let's move to another point is training and communication. Another very important method is like training about the communication. So as I explained earlier as well, basically the skills need to be improved. Other communication, the some of the people is not really well in communication. Like some people they cannot hear well, and even they hear they didn't understand, so they will get the different message, right? So even telling you very clearly explain, then they will understand in a different way. So those are challenge you have in communication. And you have to like how you communicate technical training on quality standard. You have to do kind of a proper communicating the technical standards in your the quality areas. And tools you have to explain. Oh, this is this tool. Say, for example, you have a pull test machine. So you have to explain clearly, that operator, the newcomer, how that tool is going to use. And work instruction, even having that, you have to explain and demonstrate, communicate, properly communicate that person, training and communicate very well that person to understand. Method, even you have to clearly step by step, you have to communicate properly. Otherwise, you cannot success your quality journey and TQM journey. And communication skill development, you have to develop, and like quality discussion and things like that. You have to do that in you have to training. You have to train like how you are going to have a discussion. Now, even having discussion, like, there should be a proper way. There will be a specific point you discuss. Just, not like a nonsense you talk. Like you have to talk a specific point. And even cross-functional understanding among other department. So improve your inter-department collaboration, how you're going to work with others. Like there is a way to communicate. That training has to be there. Like you have to train these areas. Now then only you can build a good proper communication in your TQM journey. Because if I summarize with example, if you have a tool, then person going to monitor that or operate that, you have to clearly explain that. Say, for example, if you are laying machine in the apparel sector, then you have to clearly explain that, operator, how that machine is going to set and what is the speed and, the vacuum level of the machine, kind of a thing you have to explain clearly, and even having a work instruction. Training is very important in the communication in the TQM. All right.
I have not a question, Mr. Rohan. I have a
Yeah.
comment on this, and absolutely most important part is this communication, especially developing this
Absolutely.
the quality, the culture.
Yeah. Correct.
During my entire career, what I see was even my current place also, they don't like to communicate well. They have some silo mindsets. They keep their problem themselves, but the customer, end of the day, customer is unhappy because of the quality issue, and finally the sales is becoming drop now. So
Okay.
the main reason is not communicate. They don't like to
Yep.
speak each other, especially.
Absolutely, Karina. Thank you very much sharing your, very honest experience, what you are facing now. This is what we want. Actually, this is also what you can do, Tilida. So you better now you learn about the communication, the subject now. What you can do is, my personal suggestion you do is, you because I'm going to give you assignment today, right? Then you can take some example as well. Then I will explain the last slide, final slide. Then you have assignment today. I will explain. Then this will be one of the example for you to have improve. So you can have a one-on-one session with your leaders. Go and talk to them proper communication, because you can do a kind of a training session for them to understand what is the communication. Communication is not just a talk. There's a way to communicate. The documentation, as I explained, like there are a lot of ways to look at, the communication is a very crucial part in our even life. So not only organization, right? If somebody don't understand, or then they will do some other works, right? If say for example, if somebody if we ask them to go to, I mean, in Sri Lanka, some Colombo from Jaffna, or we can say like we will ask somebody to go to Pakistan, but we just say Pakistan, then that person don't know how to go. We have to clearly communicate how you purchase the ticket, how you arrange your passport, and the person, they don't know anything. The person don't know anything. Then you have to, as a leader, explain what to do, when to do, where to do. Everything, tiny point you have to explain. Then only you can send that person to exact destination. Otherwise, that person is lost his way, right? That's why communication is very important. Likewise, in the business also, there should be a way to communicate properly. Otherwise, people don't understand. They are misunderstanding. And the meeting, even they are sitting that if you not properly communicate, and they don't, they don't use that. They just, yawing and sitting in the meeting and they go back and they do the same thing. So communication tool is very, very powerful tool in the industry. Like if you have a Tilina, if you can build this, culture, communication culture, you can do a better job. I know you are the mindset and the right attitude. You are is a go-getter to, I mean, change the culture kind of a thing. I heard the way you, I mean, working on and in your department, the company. So then this is a good challenge. Now currently you have a challenge. This is a good learning for you to, I mean, go and discuss with your management, or you can do a training session for them, right? Okay, because today we have to complete this session 10-15 minutes before, because some of the I have to explain assessment as well. I know Darshana need some of the thing need to discuss with you all. Then I'll give you a break, take a 5 minutes break and come back quickly. I mean, within 5 minutes, then we'll continue other slide. All right. Okay, guys, let's go to the second part. All right. Okay, based on 12 communication method and the practices, the point number 9, documentation record keeping, right? So all the document must very clear with that to be understandable. Like, all the document as I explained even before. So you should have quality manual. And even it can be a hard copy, or either it's in the your computer. That has to be very clearly clause by clause. You are writing down in the clear the font, and it has to be clearly well set in a quality manual in your TQM journey. That there should be a quality manual, and it will be comprehensively documented all the information and outline, like heading has to be there, and how you written down the other sentences and spaces, everything has to be well set in your quality manual. And because you are going to explain in the quality manual your management system in the how you're going to manage the quality, right? So about your policies and the procedures very clearly mentioned in the quality manual. Otherwise somebody will confuse when they are going to read it, because quality manual is there because somebody want to clarify some information, that manual open and check, and even auditor come, they will look at manual to understand your procedures and policies, because some of the company, they are preparing quality manual for what? Face the audit. Actually, that's not a purpose. That quality manual is there basically to communicate to newcomers, or somebody wants to clarify or verify some information that is there. So because as a human, you cannot keep everything in the mind. So if you have a doubt in your policy, or if you have a system concern, then you can open the book and see, or you can open your laptop or computer, then you can see your manual, which clearly documented your all the things need to be done based on the quality management system. Another one, standard operating procedure, like SOPs and all that, you have to clearly the detailed instruction has to be mentioned specifically on the your SOPs. Standard operating procedure mean SOP in the short form, and because you have to we call critical to process has to be critical to what are the critical area in the process. Yes, you have to be mentioned on the SOP, and ensure like consistency and quality level what you remain, and critical to quality point. a standard worksheet has to be mentioned everything, like, then we document and record keeping is coming under, the communication subject. And the other point is audit report. Audit report also has to be, it can be a formal document. Now, I think uh, based on our TQM, learning, I think you get the evaluation tool, right? So that you are going to use that evaluation tool in your the organization to, evaluate and see where the gaps are. Likewise, you should have a formal document for the audit. And because you should have like weekly or monthly assessment need to be done in your process when you start the TQM, the total quality management philosophy in your company. There should be audit report to look at what are the process gaps and all that you should have a proper uh, audit report, right? So and also, like, and based on the audit, you have to recommend even, like, corrective action. How we're going to recommend corrected your what are the lapses there. Say for example, based on the audit, you have product safety issue. Say for example, apparel sector, needle procedure not being followed. Then a lot of needle parts identified by auditor in the production flow. Then how we are going to correct those information. Then you should have a proper format for corrective action. Likewise, that you have to develop the audit report and the corrective action documents. And how you are going to correct your action recording, like, the documentation quality issues. If there's a quality issues, how we're going to document it. And then you have to keep a file in, a proper way, like, based on 5S, you have to maintain file, and what are the document inside the file. And you can arrange the, based on the 5S method, file have the key, to follow, like content to follow the page number one, what is the second page, third page, so on and so forth. So likewise, you should have a, like, first one is elaborating of uh, issue in the production flow, problem. Then root cause analysis the next page. And likewise, you can define kind of a mechanism to, maintain documentation based on the communication. That's also one of the communication part. And because this is ISO ISO process, it very clearly stated the how we are going to maintain your communication in the documentation document side. All right. So then let's move on. And 10th one, right? Feedback mechanism. How we're going to give a feedback mechanism, like, Tilina said, like, some of the feedback communication gaps are there. So you should have a feedback mechanism. So how we're going to speedily, like there should be a speed way to make feedback. So they cannot takes time, because today something happened in the production flow. Immediately, senior level should know that what happened there. Then somebody can go and fix the problem. Otherwise, it will be dragging, like, it will be a chronic issue. Likewise, that there should be a mechanism to get the feedback. Like, how we're going to get the feedback from customers, and how we're going to take in the feedback from employees, and formal and informal. There should be a way. And how you communicate, collecting the data or informing the supplier. And you can do kind of a surveys and interview, one-on-one session kind of a thing. And also even automated system in your organization you can implement. Like, say for example, when you receive the fabric into your warehouse, or any item in your warehouse, then, when the system update, everybody know that, this item has been received to your warehouse. That kind of data has to be collected in your system or manual system or whatever. Then there should be a proper way, because we can get the feedback. That's also the feedback mechanism. And also, whatever you're collecting the data or the information, you have to be analysis, like, is process, we have to analyze whatever you capture the data and information, see is exactly received on time, or is delaying, or is on time delivery, or whatever you have to, analyze the data and see what is there any concern or the prior to the issues to do kind of a improvement project, or you have to bridge the gap with your corrective action plan or kind of a improvement project. And the responses kind of a thing, like the feedback mechanism, implementing like how to say um, and whatever you action taken, so then you have to communicate to in the proper other departments. Say, for example, some of the department have a concern, then you respond that problem, then you have to give a feedback to that particular department or stakeholder. This is a problem, that is a solution we find. So you have to maintain it like a proper way, kind of a thing. You have to respond proper way. So that's I have to explain, like, based on the feedback mechanism on the communication based on the 12, and which one is 12, 10th one. All right. So technologies, communication technologies. This is a very, sophisticated tool we do have in the market now, and even a lot of companies they are using. You know, as Hedith explained, some other company, do you all have any, technology, new technologies to, maintain quality management system, softwares and all? Can anybody explain here? Do you have quality management software there in your company? Is still manual records, manual system, or do you have a kind of a good system?
These days we
Elena?
are developing, we are developing a digitalized program covering entire end-to-end quality assurance QMS programs. So now,
Super. Okay, Dilna. So is this you are consulting third party, or you are internal define that or design that?
actually, sir, we are doing internally.
All right, good. So think about that, now when you are developing that, consider some of the learning point from here, so that you can give your thoughts them to look at how the communication has to be aligned, like because if they capture the data, how they're going to analyze, and what are the department need to be need to they should, what are the department should know, kind of a thing. You have to make a like protocol, so you can share with the
Yes, sir.
idea from this training. Yeah. And here says communication technology, like, as Thilan explained, even I think most of the companies they have a lot of good sophisticated system in the companies. Some of the companies still don't have. They are still very primitive stage, where they have to think about consulting third party, or internally they can develop kind of mechanism to monitor their quality management system, data capturing, and after data captured, analysis need to be done, and so what are the things need to be improved, kind of a thing. You can do that. And like internet, some of the network, some of the companies, they have the system, but very slow, like what to say, bandwidth is not enough sufficient to run it very speed way. So browsing time is taking such time. So kind of a is circling, you cannot open some files, because there's no bandwidth. It's a network problem. Yeah, if you have a software, a network has to be properly set, like then you can communicate properly. And some email, there should be another thing is some of the employees, they are keeping, there are a lot of files in the desktop, so then you have to communicate and tell them, so the proper way to what to say, archive their folders in proper way in their laptops, even, like it's based on 5S. And some of the mobile application also using, like some of the one of the companies I've seen, when the Anden system raise, first time message goes to immediate person, like team leader. Then second, if is still the problem not resolved, that within some superior time, that second message goes to senior level, like executive level. Then finally it will further drag, it will go to the CEO level. That kind of a mechanism some of the companies have. I think you also can think about that. The like phone technology, and mobile applications, some SMS racing, like even you are having a special meeting with the customer. So then you can say, okay, no need to excuse somebody you can ask somebody to go and attend that problem because, say for example, line number 5 have issue, right? Because you get within, that problem is dragging since 1 hour. So this because that message received from CEO or senior level, that person can ask somebody to go and fix the problem. Right? Likewise, that kind of mechanism you should have. The technology you have to use to communicate properly. I think you understand what I'm saying, right? So please think about that. And so this is a communication technology based on communication subject. The 11th point is that, right? So do you have any question about this slide, anybody? If no, then I'll move. So keep in mind, the fine summary is here. If you have a sophisticated system, that system has to be clearly train your team. The team has to be understand. If somebody come and ask, you should have a capability to explain that. And also, whatever data you have digital board, that you have to use it to improve, or you have to sustain it and or the further improve that with the project. Or that's a mechanism has to be in your organization. As I explained in earlier, if you have a sophisticated system, even if you're not using, though it's no use. It's a waste of money because company owners and stakeholders and shareholders, they invest in money to, set up the good system. But if nobody using that, useless. Like I know most of the company, they started 1 or 2 months, very speed. Discipline they follow. And then again, if somebody not follow, and even top management not connected, the middle management and the bottom layer to monitor that, then again, what happened, it will be collapse. Nobody follow because they might think as a human, okay, then nobody follow, no, then why should I update it? That's a way, even having a sophisticated system is going to bankrupt. I mean, it will going down. It's not sustainable. So I would say it's not sustainable. If you have a good system, you have to sustain it. All right. Okay, so let's move. Crisis and change communication. Then how you going to, the speed responses through set protocols. You have to set the protocols to, speed way, to whom you should communicate that problem, to whom you go and meet, to whom you and consult to resolve that problem. Kind of a mechanism you should have, because rapid responses is very important. Because as I explained, otherwise that problem will be chronic, or problem may be a bigger one. So say for example, in the apparel sector, I can give one example. Machine noises coming continuously. Now, what my team member operator will say, go and tell mechanic, okay, there's a problem. If mechanic doesn't care, then what happened? Then it will be a big repair. Then, the rapid response is very important in the TQM journey. So even quality issue have in the QC come and tell the senior level that that person has to be respond. All right. So how about the in your companies, do you have like a Anden system or kind of a quickly feedback system are there? Anybody except Telina and Pakistan people? How do you have any mechanism to, the rapid response or mechanism are there communicating the problem? Is there any way to resolve any problems in your companies? Anybody have it now? I guess you don't have, right? So, okay, fine. So, because you should have a mechanism to, respond somebody's problem, because your employees have a problem. If nobody responding or nobody is helping, then they will, demoralize or what do you call this, demotivated, and your company will not performing. They can perform well. And other one is when you have a communicating, it has to be transparent. So if you are going some honest feedback, you have to give, right? Now, say for example, quality issue you have, like quality manager is asking, or quality, the director asking, okay, how many defects are there? Now you have to tell exactly how many, what is the quantity there, right? Now you not to hide it, because if you hide it, okay, why you are telling is lies? Why? Because you will think, okay, it's maybe a problem for you. No, you have to honestly speaking and tell them, as a senior person, there are 20 defects or 200 defects, and you have to honestly give a feedback. Otherwise, there will be a problem, within the organization, and you cannot improve because you are giving false information to top level, right? So transparency has to be there when you're communicating when the problem or crisis you have. And all right. Another one is like, structure communication, the change management, like, in during the process changes, if you are going to, if you, change the process, you have to communicate a proper way and to everybody, because if you not tell them this process can be changed, then people will follow previous process. That might happen. So then it will be a problem. Say, for example, if you have a tea seal machine, now you change the method. So if you not communicate properly, then they will do the wrong thing, wrong method. Then what happen again? Heat seal or delamination can happen. Delaminate the peeling of label can be happen. And other one is the learning system. And process has to be captured, lesson like learn on quality incidents. Whatever if you learn, like, if you have a, say for example, in the production flow, you have 12 lines. One line had happened, one incident. The same product is producing another line. That if you not communicate that problem into that other line, that other line also doing the same problem. Then what you can do, if you identify the problem in your some other area, that has to be communicated to other line, right, or other department. Right? Then when you communicate that, then they can learning from that. So that's what I'm emphasizing here. So that as a 12th point, now you have to maintain in a TQM journey, rapid responses and transparency has to be there, and change management best practice. Like, if you change something, you have to communicate to everybody, and if something learned, then you have to communicate to other as well. That's a way you have to, work in a TQM journey. All right. All right. Now, communication subject, I think we covered. Do you have any concerns or need to clarify any areas in communication subject? So then I can further elaborate, because I can take a few minutes to elaborate. If you have any doubt in your companies, then I can give my thoughts how we're going to improve that. Or if you have like Tilin explain. So likewise, if you have any communication challenges there, then I can give you some experience. I can share that experience how we're going to improve that. Anybody?
Yes, sir. Actually,
Camilla?
yeah, I have some question. Actually, this is
Okay.
related to our organization. So, the meeting cultures, but
All
actually,
right.
this is not very systematic way. That means actually, even in the upper layers, actually, the meetings are not well organized. It is dragging the long time. So,
Okay.
like that situation, actually, most of the times, we are talking about the questions, but at the end of the day, there is no any solution. So many
Oh.
time wastages are happen. So, like that situation, actually, how we can overcome like the situation, because we are taking continuously meeting, but at the end of the day, actually, the same problems are talking another day. There is no any solution likewise. But the thing is, actually, these are coordinated by the upper management and likewise.
All right.
So
Very good point. Yeah, Chamila. Okay. Do you have anything to elaborate, Chamila? Finish, right?
no, sir.
Okay.
Like that
All right.
situation, just need how to overcome like
Okay.
that.
Okay. All right. Let me explain. It's a good question. I think everybody can understand. So, meeting culture. Meeting culture. There is a very disciplined way to, maintain meeting. Like, I will explain example like this. Okay. if you want to have a meeting properly, you have to communicate the specific person through email or message, or you have to communicate manually. Somebody has to go and tell this time have a meeting in the place venue. I mean, you have to define the venue first. Sorry, you have to identify the people who are going to participate and what are the topic you are going to talk. Then you have to communicate. These are the topics we are going to talk, like agenda basically. You have to communicate. You have to share that agenda. Today we are going to discuss about this topic. Then they can pre-prepare and come and talk about the topic. They can give a input. Otherwise, they don't know what is the topic. And you have to write down. Say, for example, now in the current context, you have a team meeting or Zoom meeting. You can write down the topic and tell these are the topics we are going to talk about. And if you have more topics, you can specify the timeline. Say, for example, main topic, you have some subtopics. So you can take some, say for example, if you are going to start a meeting 10 o'clock, right? Then 10 to 10:30, then you are going to discuss about one main topic and some subtopics. And then you can talk about that. And you have to be careful that there should be a meeting conductor. Meeting conductor have a power. If that agenda point is dragging further, you can stop it. Stop and please take. You can put the action point. Then you can take as a offline. Offline in the sense after meeting, then you can define. You can assign some people to talk about that point and come and explain the next meeting, or you can that person. Then people can communicate through email or that kind of practice you can start. Now, meeting has to be disciplined. I agree with you, Chamila, because most of the companies meeting, meeting. You know, continuously, continuous consecutive day they are conducting meeting. It's a useless sometime. They don't know what they have talked about, you know, when they are coming out the meeting. So that's why I'm explaining the meeting subject has to be there, agenda has to be there, who participation list has to be there, and define the timeline. Now, say for example, it's the one hour meeting. Actually, as a very effective meeting is 45 minutes, or you can go for 1 hour. It's fine. It's fine. But you have to be careful, strict with the time. Okay, Chamila. Stick with the time.
Yes.
Somebody has to tell, sorry. So your meeting is your meeting point. I mean, agenda point is dragging. Please stop because other topic we have to discuss. Otherwise, only you have plan. Even you talk about entire day on the one topic is useless. So because every agenda point has to be discussed, or then you don't have time, then you team has to agree, okay, let's talk about this point, other agenda point we will discuss another day. Then every team has to be agree. However, you have to set the meeting protocol. What are things? And I explained communication subject, like, you know, you should have there is a SOP for meeting, like even meeting room arrangement, like you have to define that. And when the people coming in, how they have to come, and pre-prepared, they should have a notebook, and they have to come and talk about specific point. You have to pre-educate them. That's what I said. Communication has to be trained. Like otherwise, they don't know how to behave in the meeting. You got my point, Tamila? So
Yeah.
they don't know how to behave because there's a cross discussion going on, because some 1 or 2% talk about the one agenda point that some other people are disturbing, like they are talking about another topic. It's like a very noisy meeting room. That is not a culture. You have to change that. It's just coming under TQM total, because quality is everything. Everything is quality. So quality mean everything, because people behavior is a quality. The meeting has to be maintained quality, not only product quality, right? Environment quality. Likewise, you have to define the exact meeting, how you're going to conduct that. You have to educate everybody. I think, Chamila, you can, if you go to Google, there is a lot of presentation, how you're going to establish the meeting culture, right? You can learn it. If you not, then I can share with you personally. You can talk me later. Then some of the presentation have meeting culture and meeting, how you're going to conduct the meeting. Specifically mention how you have to maintain and conduct the meeting discipline way, right? So then you can apply that kind of a meeting practices there, because I know. I also experienced that. Some of the people discuss like 1 hour, 1.5 hours. There's no solution, right? So then what my suggestion is, if you have a unsolvable unresolved problem, you can assign a project team, right? 1 or 2, 3 people. Okay, guys. Now this topic is dragging. Please further study by yourself. Then you can take 2 to 3 days, come and present us how you identify this problem. And then you can present here how you're going to resolve it, like a project. Like rather you discussing only, you can't resolve the problem. You can't resolve the problem. There should be a specific action to resolve the problem. You got my point, Camila?
Yes, sir. Very clear. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So then further, if I explain that you can study further, I don't have time to. I mean, there's a lot of presentation and actually, basically, my companies and my previous companies, there's a discipline because especially I conduct the meeting. I know some of are here. If anybody late to come to meeting, that person cannot come into the meeting. Then if late, then there's a fine. Fine mechanism. I charge some people angry with me also. They can't help because if you want to make a culture, I explained in the previous session, if you want to make a culture, you have to change the people behavior. Do you remember what I explained? I mean, I teach you all before.
Yes, sir.
If you want to change the culture, you have to change the behavior of the people. And to change the behavior, you have to make the system. Then system to just, you cannot do it just, system with the people not follow. Then you have to behave like little, how to say, not arrogant, little rigid way, like, you have to use your cohesive power. You have to use your, how to say, leadership trait to control them. And if you are how to say, senior leader, you have to maintain discipline. Discipline is key. If there's no discipline, you cannot success. Even I know, I agree with you, Chamila, some of the senior leaders, they don't know how to discipline because it's a all book. They not updated themselves, how they, behave in the meeting. They are in, some senior people are there. They look at their company only that they didn't get the training even to, update their knowledge. So that's why the issue, I know, Chamila. Then what you can do, Chamila, so you are based on this understanding today, you pick some point, and one of the point will be, you can elaborate in your assignment as well. So then you can do kind of a improvement. It's an opportunity to improve. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Right. Okay. Now this let's come to the measuring progress. Like now we're going to measure. Like here says, let me repeat again. You cannot improve what you cannot measure. So if you are not measuring anything, you cannot improve. Then you should have a proper metrics to measure. Like you have to define key performance based on quality, right? Indicators and aligning with your what you call this objective or the ultimate goal, right? You have to establish the metrics. And second point is collect data. Even you set the metrics, you should have a collecting data mechanism. You collect the data. And then once you collect the data, you have to analyze, see the performance, how is positive trend or negative trend, or can you further improve? Then you can look at that. Like now, if you want to do some changes, yes, you can do that based on that, right? It's only you can do the changing your process or people change can be happen because now, say for example, if you have a non-performer in your company, then if you capture the data, you can have one-on-one session and explain that person, okay, guy, so I have a serious concern with you. I observe couple of months, still your area not perform. What can I do for you? What can support do on my end? So, and you can have a session, one-on-one session. Then personally realize, okay, I have a problem. Now management identify that I'm not performing. Yeah, okay, he can say, okay, I have a problem. I don't know how to do this. I don't know. I need to develop myself. Or I need some training. That person can be, he can explain. He will explain to you, okay, I need some training, kind of a thing. You can, because that person is good, but based on the performance, he's not a valuable employee. Then you can make a decision on that. Understand? So then that's what I'm saying. You have to data capture is very important, and then you analyze the data, and also then you can do some changes. Even the people change or you can process changes can be done, right? And finally, you if you do any project order, then you have to result analysis be done. Verify the result. Likewise, you will do that. Like that's what I want to emphasize here. If you do kind of a change in the process or the people change, so then there should be a matrix, and you have to collect data, and whatever the data you collected, analyze the performances, and you have to communicate daily or weekly or monthly for them to understand. So then people will understand where they need to improve, right? So then you have a clear mechanism to, sustain the TQM, right? Then you can even result, you can verify the result as well. Okay. And next slide, let's move. Right. And tools for TQM driven change management. What are the tools? Let's look at the tools for, change management, right? I think change management subject been covered by Vimal or Darshan, I do remember. So let's recall our memories and see, to do the change management in the sense, if you're going to change the people, or you can, switch the people, and if you're changing the process, so in the TQM journey, so to drive the TQM, so you should have these specific a tool. Like look at let's do a tool. Statistical process control, right? Can anybody tell except Chamil and Tilina and somebody and new person? I want to hear somebody new person. Do you have a species system in your company? Because last time I Darshan explained already statistical process control. Do you have kind of a mechanism at least now? Anybody? Statistical process control?
Yeah,
Prasanna,
very beginning our companies used the SPC,
right?
but now we are changing.
Change into what, Prasanna? You put into new system or is
Actually, actually SPC we put it in the inline process control, and
right?
we remove the SPC and we put it in the traffic light system.
Okay, yeah, you are right, Prasanna. I'm talking about not only inline species system, that is strategic process control in end to end. Like, even if you have a apparel sector and fabric, what are the how many suppliers you do maintain, right? And what are the performance over there of each and every supplier, and
This
separation of cutting.
dashboard, yes, we are monitoring.
Yeah. All right, great. We call it statistics process control because statistics mean the data you have to monitor, right? So you can see the variation of process, like
Yes, that
uh,
one that dashboard we are using for that highlighting this end line defects rate and
yeah.
other aesthetic we are using. Yeah.
All right, Prasanna, great. So because why, based on that you can make a decision. If you don't have the data, or like a process strategic process control, you cannot make a decision. Like then you will get the decision based on your experience, without referring the statistics. You should have statistics to make a decision, right? I think that should have been covered. I think decision based, what do you call this, fact based decision making. So I think you understand that. So because you should have a statistical process control in your TQM journey. Otherwise, you cannot success the TQM journey, of course. And at least kind of problem solving tool, fishbone diagram is a simple tool but very powerful. I think this also been covered. Uh, at the moment, anybody using this kind of a tool in at least real time problem solving in production flow or service area, kind of a you can do kind of a predefined a blank sheet with a fishbone diagram, and them to fill what is the cause, sorry, what is the problem, and then they write down man, machine, method, material, information, environment, kind of a key areas to follow. Do you have that kind of mechanism, anybody? Anyone there? Fishbone diagram you're using there?
Yes, we are using
Yes.
most of the cases. Normally, mostly we use for the customer complaint and highlight cases, not for our internal quality system, but at
All right.
somehow we are using this one.
Okay, Afsal, do you do the
Yes.
brainstorming session also for that?
Very less, like 2 to 3 people like this. Only
All right,
managers
all right.
can manage above.
But however, you have a mechanism to, I mean, identify root causes exactly for the problem, right?
Yeah. It's very beneficial. Normally, we can reach to the exact problem where it's caused. There's real root cause we can find from them.
All right, great, very good. So, and other one is PDS. PDC cycle is a powerful tool, which Deming's, we call Deming cycle, is introduced by Deming, plan, do, check. And I think I'm not going to repeat this one. You've been covered this one. I'm just recalling your memory because during your TQM journey, this kind of, at least you should have this kind of a tool to sustain your, if you want to change the management mechanism or the process, you should have this kind of a tool, right? So that's what I want to emphasize here. And quality circle. Now, after you learn from Darshana, have you, I'm Darshana with quality circle covered by Vimal, right? Yeah, whoever. So have you started the quality circle in your company at the moment? Or at least started a project? Even you learn? So
Yes, sir.
yeah,
Current,
Chamila.
yeah, I had the experience with my previous organization.
All
Currently,
right.
I recently joined with new organization. Actually, I am trying to adapt to this culture.
Super, Charlie. Because you know why quality circles they are mean even team member level they get the ownership because we are giving their time. We are allow them to understand their problem by themselves. Then they will get the ownership to resolve that. That's what is a good tool. The TQM when you're going to if you're going to establish TQM, you should have this kind of a tool of call. So please practice it and further study quality circle. If you don't understand yet, then please come back to us or me or Darshana or Vimal. Then we can explain you all further how we are going to do the quality circle. Quality circle is very important and very powerful tool to TQM journey because a lot of companies using this quality circle. There is a big benefit from this quality circle because everybody, the bottom level, they will understand their problem to solve by themselves. All right. So I think you understand, like, tools in the TQM, you have to maintain at least is a mandatory. Mandatory in the sense, if you have this kind of a tool to, I mean, sustain your TQM journey. All right. Okay. I'm going to explain here what need to be done, like, in your TQM journey to, the change management journey in the TQM. So what you have to do is you have to assess your current state. Then what initially you must do the proper assessment, end-to-end assessment to identify the gaps. Like now, I think we provided you your comprehensive tool. You can use this tool to understand your company, what are the gaps are there, right? And is there any process inefficiencies? All right, and either your culture is still not ready to, I mean, take away. Like you can understand based on that tool. Like let me repeat again. So please use that tool to understand your company current state end to end, where need to be improved, gaps need to be identified. Based on that, you can understand the culture, in what kind of culture. Now you all explain meeting culture is don't have, right? So then you have to develop. I think you are a long way to go. That's why we are trying our maximum best to elaborate the best practice of what need to be done if you are going to establish a TQM. So think about that. You must initially do the assessment. Otherwise, you cannot understand your gaps to improve, right? Then the build a leadership alignment. Then after that, you have to connect with leadership, right? Then them to understand, okay, then you can train them TQM principles and they will understand. Then you have to get the commitment from them, right? And also then you can development champions at all level, right? So then when you're going to establish the TQM, you identify the current state, right? Based on the assessment tool, then you are going to fill the gap. What you have to do, they build the leadership. Like, in the every the department or the section, there should be a champion. Like, you have to develop them to, all in level in the organization. Every level you have to develop some leaders to, build this philosophy of TQM. So otherwise you cannot do that. Understand? So I'm trying to emphasize my maximum best to, when you are going to do the TQM application or establishment, this process flow you have to follow. Assess, then build the leadership in your every section or the department as a champion to get the ownership and responsibility of the TQM. And then you, together with them, create an implementation roadmap. Then there can be a short-term action plan and a long-term action plan. Then how we are going to win the short wins, like, low-hanging fruits based on the lean terms. What are the easy things you can do that? Then short-term. Then long-term, you can take time to do that. Likewise, you can make a roadmap. Okay, first month we do this part. We can do the training. And second month we do kind of a, you can go and see, like, well-established TQM company, like, to understand their environment. And kind of you can plan whatever you want, based on the discussion with your leaders, assigned leaders. And then you have to, like, as I explained, invest the training. You have to invest some training, not only how to say, not only subject training, like, specific topic training. You have to give a lot of training, like, even take home training you can give them. Like, even you can, if you can do that, you can plan training for them to do. And even you can consult somebody to bring in to organization to train them from bottom to top, top to bottom. Then you can provide some comprehensive education, TQM tools to, TQM, the training plan, and you can educate them, like, how you do some audits, the techniques, kind of thing. And even mindset changing can be done. All right. And how you are going to build their capabilities internally. Like, then after that, even to motivate them, you can, once you invest the training, you can give some certification for them, then they will motivate. Likewise, you can now, I know that MAs, I do remember, they covered every middle management, like yellow belt is a mandatory requirement. Then they provide a certificate, then motivate them to do another training. Likewise, you can motivate them to, build a learning culture there. Then you can invest for that. Otherwise, then you cannot uh, establish a TQM. And finally, start small scale for that mean you have to make a role model. Role model in the sense you can start from how to say, rather you are going for the big area, you can improve kind of a small area. Say I will take one example in the garment industry. So you can take one line, production line. So you can apply all the best practice there, like building quality and self-inspection, ISQ, standard worksheet, and what do you call this? CTP process, CTP point, CTQ process, and work study kind of a thing, like how to say, WIP control and inline QC best practice, the table how you're going to arrange, and table standardized, and everything has to be standardized in that line. once you practice a few weeks or months, then you will realize there's results are coming in, right? So you can see the results. So what you can do, like, your quality, say you can start from the worst line. So say, for example, if there's a non-performing line, you can start the TQM journey from that line. If you think about that, to apply. So you can apply whatever the best practice over there, right? Then once you practice it and establish it, you can plug and play. You can take that all the best practice to copy to other line. Likewise, you can how to roll out to all the lines, and then you can think about a department, how you're going to improve department. Start from the smaller. If you think about starting 5S, the 5 also coming under TQM, like, it's also one of the basement the very important point. So if you're going to start 5S, rather you are going to start 5S whole factory, it will be a very difficult. So what you can do is start from one of the department or one of the room, then arrange everything. Then you can scale fast. Then you can do it, faster the other area, right? So that's what I want to explain here. So, right. So this will be a guideline for you to establish quality TQM in the future, right? And I'm coming to the last topic, the TQM tree, right? KPI trees in TQM. So this is very important, Tan. Let me elaborate like this way. Every levels are connecting direct to strategy quality objective. Like, every level has to be connect with objectives from the bottom to top. Everybody must be connected with the objectives, right? Like, why? Because he focus everything to identify the matters of the quality. Like, every matter is matters are how to say, very important for quality. As a matter, I mean, quality is everything. Everything quality. That means every matters are important for quality. That means you have to focus everything, right? So then you have to look at that, how we're going to arrange the KPI tree in the TQM. So it's kind of a strategic alignment. How we are going to say, for example, I'll give you some example next slide. Then you will further understanding. So if you want to do something, objectives, okay, you want to build your, how to say, okay, quality, from inline quality level is 10% to 2%, right? Is your objective. So then you have to set up strategic. How are you going to do that? Right? Strategies mean that, you can train the people, you can QC training, and technically involve some POCAI and error proofing method, and a lot of strategies you can apply. Then tactics, how you're going to improve. You have to look at that, how you're going to achieve that strategy. Then you have to set the tactics, right? Then you have to understand the how to say, problem you have to detect early. Like, then if you have a KPI tree, you can understand. When you look at the KPI tree, you can understand where's the problem early. You can detect that rather waiting until the last minute, right? And also cross-functional accountability. Like, everybody will understand. Okay, where I need to be engaged, where I need to be improved, kind of a thing. Now I'll explain how to create that, KPI tree in the TQM. The next slide, then you will realize what it is. Okay, this is a method and example. All right. Okay, look at that. Okay, here. So let me go to directly the example. Here you want to be a healthy person. That means is your objective. What do you want to do? What do you need? Then the strategy should be eat well. Okay. Then that means the question is, what are you going to do to achieve your objective, right? It says the objective there, how are you going to achieve that? We call this a strategy. Then to achieve the strategy, right, how you are going to execute your strategy, then you should have a tactics. Look at that, tactics. Say, for example, balanced fat, fresh fruit and veggie intake. You eat only fresh veggie and fresh fruits. manage calorie intake. You reduce that carbohydrate food. Rice you will not take much. Then try to understand objective there. You set the strategy, and to achieve the strategy, you set the tactics as well. Then look at the achievement, like measures. You have to measure and see you achieve the tactic or not. How you should measure the performance of your tactics. Look at that body fat levels. You can see that body fat level is reduced or not. It's a BMI. Calories and food intake log. You can maintain the log and see that how you intake, like calories reduced or not. And the BMI, like you manage your calories intake. Weight control. You measuring your weight daily, and you can mark a chart. And reduce alcohol log, and you reduce the alcohol. As a best practice, you do, like I'm having a whiskey or brandy or something like that. You can reduce it. Then you are automatically you will be healthy. Likewise, think about you can apply this kind of mechanism to your quality KPI 3. Like as I explained, if you want to achieve customer final inspection passed at 100%. So how do that? You have to set the strategy, or then you have to strengthen the strategy. Should be strengthen your process, strengthen your the people, and strengthen your how to say product knowledge and quality knowledge, defect type of defect. Likewise, you have to set the strategy. Then you have to set the tactics. What are the tactics should be? Like daily monitoring and follow up. Sorry, what do you call this? Audit sheet and random audit, and third party would come and see, like, oh, look, kind of a tactics you can set, and then you can see the data then. Finally, what are the achievement in a specific area? Inline recovery is what, and pre-final rate is what. Likewise, you can see that, right? So this is the way you have to set the KPI tree in your TQM journey, right? This will be a powerful tool for specific area. You can use this kind of a tree. All right. Any question on this? Then I'll move. And integrating KPI trees with performance appraisal. How you integrate and connecting with performance appraisal? Because now objective is they are in a performance appraisal. I mean objective, right? Finally, by performance appraisal you do to see that objective is achieved or not, right? So that KPI tree says, you have to set up this KPI tree. The individual person contribution, you have to get the individual person contribution to TQM. That's why the KPI tree is very important, right? And you have to cascade the KPIs to the every level, top level and middle level, and the is next level, like supervisory or executive supervisor, and then the bottom level. Now I do remember still some of the factories, um, they do monitor, they will engage with the even team member. The weekly or monthly they review, team member review. Then understand are they achieving their target. Then because target, if they achieve, then it will be connecting to objective. Final objective is perform whatever, millions of dollars or whatever, or 100% pass rate or whatever. Then you have to set the objective. To see that, you have to cascade all this information, the KPIs to the down level. Like I think this has been explained by Vimal, policy diplomat. Likewise, you have to cascade the KPIs to the down level. All right, break down organized KPIs to the even bottom level. And the visualize connection, like you have to visual the connection, and regular reviews need to be done. All right, so you have to, as I explained, KPI review need to be done, and force them and let them get the ownership, right? So based on that, empower people to get the ownership, right? I explained that ownership part, so I think you are clear on that. All right, that's it today. So let's go for assignment. Okay, before go to assignment, any question on that? Then if you didn't understand, please come back to me, then I further explain. Even you are going to do the assignment, then if you have a question, then you can come back to me. Assignment is today. Let me explain. Assess your current communication. I already explained to you all. I teach you all what are the practices need to be done in the communication, right? Assess your current communication practices across your organization based on the selected 5 areas of communication. I explain you 12 area, right? Please identify from those 12 some specific 5 area as you want and look at in your organization where the lapses are. Okay. And following step should elaborate with existing example in organization. Please get some example, explain in your assignment, and what are the problems, what are the concerns based on that tool, based on the 5 area. You can select that because you have handout. Okay. Then what you are doing is identify the gaps and opportunities for improvement. Identify the gaps on based on that area and criteria selected 5 based on the topics. Then write down. Okay. And develop action plan to strengthen weak area. Then you have to develop the action plan, how you're going to improve that. Likewise, then you can create an Excel chart. Like it's a simple tool. They can put left-hand side, you can put the number, what are the action number, and then area, what are the area. Look at, say, for example, you can say fabric area, you can say cutting area, you can say, service area, whatever, you can specify the area. Then what is the problem you identify? What are the problem you identify? Then who is going to have the responsibility to improve that? And when are you going to finish that? Likewise, you have to create a action plan for that. Then why I'm doing this? Because then you can apply later. So to improve your gaps in the communication in your department, as Chamila and Tilina, I think, explained, you will have some meeting challenges and all that, you can do that. And last point is introduce a simple communication audit tool, right, to conduct regular audits to maintain effectiveness. Here, you have to create an audit tool, right? Based on your learning, you can make a checklist or audit tool to identify the communication gaps in your organization, right? Based on the tool. So I have given the handout. You can create a tool to identify. Okay, now it's classic example. I can tell you, Chamila. So that meeting, how you made the, you can set the standard. You can do an audit is maintaining or not. Likewise, you have to write down minimum word should be 500. You have to elaborate method you do audit, how you do the audit, right? And concern area and how you're going to improve, right? What the method you are going to do audit, and then problem you identify, then how you're going to improve that. Then you have to elaborate it in within 500 minimum word has to be there. Please submit before next Thursday. Then Darshana and we are going to review that. Then we can give you feedback based on that. Are you clear on this assignment? Do you want to repeat me? Then I can repeat it. If not, then
Yes,
I'll hand over to Darshana.
Can you please repeat again?
All right, Deshan.
Yes.
What I'm explaining, I explain you 12 number of 12 communication pattern and method. All right. Are you clear that?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Based on that, you can select whatever you want. Say, for example, upward communication, right? You can select that one. Understand the based on handout, what are the area need to be covered. Based on that, you have to do the audit in your area, right? Some other department you can go and do check it, and you can create a tool, audit tool, and then based on that make the action plan. How can you improve that? And also you have to elaborate what is the audit method, what you do, and then concern area you have to elaborate, and how you're going to improve that. You have to elaborate how you're going to improve that. Action you have to elaborate. Clear?
Clear.
Okay. All right.
Mr. Roshan, yet you mentioned only one. There is mentioned selected 5 areas.
What do you mean?
Assess your current communication practice across your organization based on the selected 5 area. Is it 5 area?
Yeah.
1 area?
Yeah, 5 area. 5 area.
Okay.
Based on the 5 area, because there are specifically says upward, downwards, crisis, and the tool change management, and there are 12 areas. Understand?
Okay.
Okay, but that you have to look at in your organizations these practices having or not. Then you have to do the create audit tool and do the audit and make action plan. Then you have to elaborate it how you do that.
These 5 area which is
yes.
lacking.
Correct. You got the point. Very good, Prasan. Afsal?
Yes, you only one thing I need to understand. Identify gap opportunity based on the criteria selected communication topic. Audit first you ask first we need to plan. First we select like
Yes.
five criteria, five area, upward, downward, whatever, five, any five in our departments,
Yes.
any departments. Then we need to make the gaps, identify the how many gaps, where we have a gaps. After
Yeah.
that, mention the weak area, then make a Excel sheet and make the Excel sheet like first number, then which area like department, then what is the gap, then who will
Yeah.
be responsible to correct, and when
Yeah.
timeline to what time he will correct.
Correct,
Okay,
Afsal. You're
okay,
good.
understand.
Okay.
Understand.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Darshana. Over to you, sir. Darshana, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, Ron. Thank you all. Okay, so just a 5 minute with you. So,
Yep.
yep. Okay, so thank you very much. Almost everyone's has done their TQM roadmap assessment and get to understand where you are in your organization. Thank you very much for the feedbacks about the tool. There are some wordings we have changed for easy understand. So good your feedback. That means you have done the this assessment, right? So if you have not done, you don't know what are the mistakes in the tool. But thank you very much for everyone who has done. Give the feedback. So it's great, and it's helped you to understand where you are now. And the other way is it's good for you to understand where you want to go, right? Based on that, you can implement or improve your process. It's a quality process, right? Thanks. You have more time, so you can go further, go into the tool, right? So, and the other one is right. As last time we mentioned, we will be starting our lean quality performer program on 6th of next month, 6th of September. So that is your next path. If anyone want to learn about lean more and more and lean and quality, this is the best program or the best course that you need to go through go through next, right? So this will be 6th. It's a free class, so you can join and see how this program is happening or what are the things we are doing. And remember, there are two classes, English and single medium classes are there. So you can join for English or either you can join for single class. And the other one is, this is the lean journey, right? So you go to the yellow belt, green belt and black belt. So green belt program, we will be starting on October 4th, right? So anyone wish to go for the green belt, then you can join. And I want to tell you the another one good program, because always we support you to learn new and go forward, go more in the lean journey. So this is another very good program. It's called the Toyota TPS program. This program directly done by the Toyota employees. Myself and Rohan also did this program. We really recommend this program for you. Now you can do it because you have a basic understand about lean, right? So without understanding lean, little bit difficult for you to understand this program because this is a little bit advanced. But based on the current knowledge, or if you have done the yellow belt, yes, it's good. You can understand this program. It's very good. We can recommend this program. If anyone wish to join this program, just send us a message. So we will give you all the details about this program. This program will be start on November. So Rohan and myself in batch number 1. So now it's batch number 13 directly. This program done by from the Toyota ex-employees.
Please.
And simply what I want to tell you is right. So we have extended support for you. Anyone want to our support, just send us a message. So we will be in your company, and we will be work with you for a half a day or full day for support you for your journey, right? So we will support you because as you are a student of our academic falling, we need to support you in further. So that is where we are. Right. Finally, so next week it will be our last day. Right. Anyway, if you like or not, it's came to the end of the program. So please don't absent next week because we are doing some mock exam next week, right? Some theoretical part plus mock exam. So don't miss the mock exam because otherwise, if you miss the exam, you will be having some problem at the original exam, right? So therefore, please join everyone don't miss next week class. And next week class, we are discussing a little bit about the tool. And any problem you have, we will discuss and we will do the summary and a little bit theory part, right? So that's all. And we are almost 95% done according to the course syllabus. So only 5% that will be covered next week. Okay, so we'll meet again. And you have another 7 days to communicate with us from WhatsApp or call. No problem, you can join with us. And when you do your homework, this is the last homework given by Rohan. If you have any problem, just send a message to Rohan, so he will support you how to do the assignment. And remember the assignment, please send before before next Thursday, right? So then you will be completed. So thank you very much. If you don't have any queries, so have a good night.
Okay, Darshana, that TPM, not TPMs.
Yeah,
That
TPS.
TPS, please share with the details so that.
Sure. I'll share with you. Sure, everything good. Thank you. Anything you want, just send a message in our WhatsApp, right? So we are fully open. We will send all the details, any details for you, not all. Any detail you want, you can have it. Thank you and have a nice day. Have a nice weekend for everyone.
Uh,
Okay, good night.
good night. Good evening.
Thank you, sir. Good night.